Hello, thank you for joining me. Today we are going to be talking about how to make a very nice fan chart on FamilySearch that looks like this. It's got all of the colors on it, a nice flow so we can visualize our ancestors. But how do we make it? We don't have any information about our family. So our fan chart currently looks like this. It's kind of empty. So let's get started and see how we can make that. Okay, so now we've seen what we want to create. How do we go about doing it? Well, the first thing you need to do is navigate to FamilySearch.org and go up to the top right and click Create an Account. This will allow you to enter your information and create a free account. There's a couple requirements. One, you need to be older than 8 years old in order to create your account. And the other is that if you're a minor, you need permission from an adult, a parent or a guardian. Once we have created our account, we enter in either a phone number or an email, and they will send us a confirmation. We click the link in that message, and it will allow us to then sign in. So let's go ahead and do that. I created an example account so that we could see an empty tree. Now, if I had used my actual tree, most of the fan chart is already completed with a few exceptions, so we wouldn't be able to add all of those people in. By creating a new account, I can show you how to add some of the immediate relatives in your family. So let's go ahead and log in. I name them example person. That's not an X person. Now once we log in, it takes us to our sort of home page, showing us all of the different aspects of our family tree, potentially with things we need to do, such as tasks, people we've viewed or edited recently, things that we have added as our own to do so that we can remember where we left off. But since we just created our account, we don't have any people or tasks that we have entered, so let's go ahead and see what our tree looks like. So we're going to navigate up to the top left here where it says Family Tree. Let's click on that. It brings up a drop-down menu, and we're going to click on Tree again. Now we can see that we only have one person in here. No children. No mother, no father, no spouse. Okay. What we want to do now is create those links that we know of. Our mother and our father, maybe our children, our spouse. So first thing we're going to do is fill out a little bit more of our self. So I'm going to click on the name of the person I created here. It'll bring up a little bit of an information card. I'm going to click person, and then it will show us their vital information. Now, I do not have very much information in here for this person because we just created the account. It only has the information we entered in when we were creating the account. So let's go ahead and edit their birth date. Now, when we type in a date, it wants to have a standardized date so that anyone who searches for that birth date is not going to get confused. Let's go ahead and enter that in again. 18th December 20, let's say 2000. We need to be over the age of a majority in order to create an account. So here's what it suggests. 18th of December 2000. Let's click on that. Where were we born? Let's say that we were born in New York. And when I say New York, I'm thinking about New York City. There's a lot of different options you can see here, all the way from Georgia, Iowa, Kentucky, Mississippi, Missouri, New Mexico. We're talking about New York, New York. But we also have the option of the time that we were born there. If we were born before 1776, then it would be New York in British colonial America, since the United States had not yet formed. So since we're talking about the year 2000, we're going to click on the current one, which is 1776 until the present. Okay, let's save that. Let's go back to the tree here. So up at the top, we see a submenu. We're going to click on tree. Now, let's try and fill out our chart a little bit more. Let's add a father. Now, the name example runs in our family, so we're going to name them example. And their last name is going to be father, just to keep it straight. Not a very imaginative family. Now, since we clicked on father, it's assuming they're male. Let's click living. Now, one thing about FamilySearch is if you're entering in information about a living relative, yourself, a child, a parent, aunt, uncle, brother, sister, only you can see that information. It does not go any further than your account. So if someone else wants to find you, they need to create a separate entry for you. They cannot link to you, which is especially annoying when you get married and you want to link to your spouse. When I was trying to add my wife's line to our son's, I could not add her because she is still living, and to respect her privacy, even with all of the identifying features like the ID number that it gives you, I could not add her. I had to create a brand new entry with her information, and then create her parents' information and her grandparents' information. And then once we got back one generation further, I could access those ancestors of hers that had passed away, and I could start to link into that tree. So let's say our father was born on April 5th, 1970, let's say. So we entered in a slightly different format this time, but it still wants to have that standardized format. It suggests it right here underneath. Let's click on that. You know it's a suggested one. You can see the little calendar icon. Where were they born? Let's say they were born in Albany, New York. Okay. Well, there's one in Iowa, New York. There we go. And we check the date, 1776 to present. That includes today. Let's click on that. Now we can choose next. Now this card that comes up is showing all the information that the computer or that FamilySearch has about this person. That is all the information we have given them. And we look and we can say there's no other people listed below. They're living. It's not going to suggest anybody for us. It has a child, which is the example person we created the account for. And that's it. So we're going to say, yes, we would like to create the person. If we were dealing with a deceased person, it might have suggestions down here saying, look, these people have the same name, the same birth date, the same birth location. Which would you like to do? Create a new person or use one of these people? Okay, let's add our mother. Just to keep it simple, let's say her first name is example and her last name is mother. And she is living. Again, it gives us the warning saying that we must create a new card for all our living relatives so that we can't find out information about them if they don't want us to. So let's say she was born on July 7th, 1973. Okay, here's the suggestion that it would like us to use. And she was born in Rochester, New York. Let's see. Okay, we need to type in a little bit more. Okay, Rochester, Monroe County, New York, United States, 1823 to present. That includes today. Let's click next. Okay, so we see no other suggestions. There's no one else that thinks it could be. We know that the husband it is linked to is the example father that we created. Let's create this person. Now you can see every person that we add starts to expand our tree back and back and back. So ideally we are going to get back 1 or 2 more generations, and then we will start to encounter deceased relatives, and then we can start to link to other people's research, and our tree might just start exploding and filling up faster than we thought possible. We can see here, even though we have ourselves as the focus of the tree, we can see that we are in fact a child of our parents, and we could also add siblings right here. One of the cool things about this tree is that you can view it many different ways. Other ways we can view it are portrait, which is kind of the traditional vertical expanding tree, so the elder ancestors are at the top, the younger at the bottom. The one that we're wanting to make, though, is the fan chart. Well, you can see it's pretty empty right now. So we have a lot of work to get back 7 generations. Right now we are one back, I should say. Okay. Well, I hope you found that educational and informative. I hope you will join me next time as I go over adding deceased relatives and how to search and find people that you have never met. Thanks for watching.